Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar for offer holders for our undergraduate programs at Koç University. We're going to wait a minute or two until everyone who has signed up for today's webinar can join to make sure that we're all here. There's a lot of people joining in, so thank you for your patience. In the meantime, if you're joining us from a laptop or you're able to type, it would be great to know which city you're joining us from. I know there's very different time zones within our offer holders, so we would love to know which city or which country you're joining us from. You can type on the chat. We're going to kindly ask you to type your questions, specific questions, on the Q&A section, which you can see on the bottom of your screen. Once you tap on your mobile phone, you will be able to see a section that says Q&A with two speech bubbles, so you can type your questions there, or on the chat, you can also let us know where you're joining from. Great, we started to see some answers from Jeddah, Baku. Oh, okay, thank you. You're letting me know that the chat box is disabled. Let me enable it. Let's see, over here. Not sure if I can do it right now, so please type your comments and questions in the Q&A, okay? Right, so I think we're gonna get started to make sure that we wrap up on time. First of all, I want to say thank you to everyone who has joined and everyone who will be watching this after we send the video recording. Today is very exciting for us because it's the first time our team will be communicating with all of you who have been offered admission to Koç University to start in the fall 2023 cohort. So we're very excited to start to get to know you and to be in touch with you, and hopefully in a couple of months or around early October to also get to know you in person. So we will get started now. What we're going to cover in today's webinar is very important. The first part, which should take about half an hour, it's all about how to accept your offer in terms of paying your first semester tuition, how you're going to do the online registration to enroll as a new student, and all the forms that are involved, and how to apply for our dorms. I will be giving you the information as the International Student Recruitment Director. My name is Melissa Abache, by the way. Then we will have another half hour, which is going to be conducted by our wonderful team from the Office of International Programs, International Community Services Office team, Mr. Sikri Demircan and Ms. Begum Çiçek. They're going to cover all of those very important logistical things you may be wondering about, such as visa support letters in case you need one, how to apply for student residence permit once you're in Istanbul, the international orientation process, and how you're going to start making friends and being paired with an international student body, and using our Going Connect app to start making friends and asking other questions. And then we will have about half an hour for you to ask more detailed questions if anything wasn't clear during our presentation or anything that hasn't been covered during the previous hour. So let's get started. First of all, we wanted to share some key dates about what's going to happen between the next couple of weeks until the 2nd of October. So as you can see at the bottom of the screen, we're expecting to start classes for the fall 2023 academic period on the 2nd of October. This is a tentative date because the calendar for universities in Turkey is partially determined by YOK, which is the Higher Education Council of Turkey. So if there are no changes to this calendar, then we should be able to start on the 2nd of October. So what you see on the screen is what happens before then, all of the steps and periods that you should be aware of. So first of all, today is our first pre-arrival orientation and information session for offer holders such as you. We will have another one on the 3rd of August, which is going to be more to ask specific questions in case anything is not clear. You will receive your Koç University email and your password by the 18th of August if you have already accepted your offer and pay your tuition fee in order to start your online registration from the 21st of August. That online registration period will continue until the end of September. So it's about a month and a week long. So you have enough time to complete all of your registration forms and matriculation forms, and we will explain what that means a bit later. Some of the other important dates, in case you're planning on applying to stay in the Koç University dormitory accommodation, you should know that the application period will start on the 21st of August. It will last for 1 week, so Monday to Friday. It will close on the 25th of August. Before that, you will receive also the pro forma invoice to pay a pre-registration fee, because we already know from your application form if you're interested in applying to our dormitories. And it's important that you complete that pre-registration fee before the 21st of August so that you are able to apply in our student information system for your dorm. Then the last day for accepting your offer, in case you have not already done so, and to pay your first semester tuition, if you have not already done so, is the 31st of August. Here, what you have to keep in mind is this: if you're planning on applying to dorms, we strongly recommend that you accept your offer and pay your tuition well before the 21st of August. Otherwise, you're going to miss the window to apply for dormitories. If you're already living in Istanbul, or you have family housing, or you have already decided that you're not going to be staying in our campus dormitories, then it's okay, you have a bit more time. Then our housing team is going to be announcing whether you have been placed in a dorm room and which dorm type and campus, and we will explain what that means a bit later, by the 1st of September. And then you will have a period of about a week to complete the annual payment for your dorm room according to which room you were placed in. We're expecting to have the general online orientation days, which are for the whole university for all new students, both Turkish and international, between the 21st and 22nd of September. Those orientation days are online, so you do not need to be in Istanbul for that. However, the weekend that comes just after that, 23rd and 24th of September, is when we expect you to be able to start to check in to your dorm room if you will be staying in the dorm rooms. Again, you can check in later after that if you cannot make it to Istanbul by then. There will be a couple of days, 25th, 26th September, which is when new students are able to enter our student information system called PUSIS, and you can start to plan which courses you would like to take out of the ones that are not automatically assigned to you as freshman students. Then a very important date, and our colleagues from the International Community Office will be explaining this in more detail. On the 27th of September, that's when you should be on campus in Istanbul for the International Undergraduate on-campus orientation day. So it's going to be a day full of information, fun activities, meeting in person your international buddies. Some of them are here as well, by the way. Thank you everyone for joining. And then we will also have the 28th and 29th September. Those are really special days because it's the last part of the in-person or on-campus orientation days, where student clubs and different student support services have information stalls around our Henry Ford area. So that's a chance for you to continue learning about the campus and the student clubs and sports teams and all of the opportunities that are available at Koç University. So we expect the online registration period to close on the 31st of September. Every year, of course, there are some students that, because of visa delays, may not be able to complete their online registration by then. So, of course, some exceptions are allowed in terms of being able to register a bit later, but please just communicate with us early in advance and keep us updated so that we can do our best to support you in that process. Right, so One thing we wanted to announce is, in case you are going to be visiting Istanbul before the start of the academic year and you would like to visit our campus by yourself or with your family or friends, you're welcome to do that. We have campus tour days between 18th July, so they started today, and will continue until the 4th of August. And you can come and visit us between 9 and 3:30 p.m. in our main campus, which is located in Rumeli Feneri in the Sarıyer district, okay? You do not need to make a previous appointment. You're welcome to just show up and you will be directed to our office. And then we have a wonderful team of international students who are conducting the campus tours. And with our team, International Student Recruitment Team, you will be able to also get answers to any questions you have if you're an offer holder. Just as a reminder, you can always visit our website. That's where you will also find the admitted students page. This link was also included in your offer letters. That's where you will see all of the steps that you need to take in order to enroll as a new student. And please always remember to communicate with us via email to our team email address, which is study@ku.edu.tr. We, of course, are very active on social media, and from late last year, we also opened a new TikTok account, and we would love to see your videos showcasing our campus as a new student once you decide to join us. So now, what happens if you have received a conditional offer? So some of you who are joining us will be in that situation. We wanted to explain what are the next steps, right? So once you have obtained your final exam or diploma results, or you have received your English proficiency test scores, then you need to upload the soft copy of that to our application portal, which is apply.ku.edu.tr, and you're going to upload it in the relevant section, whether that is test scores or English proficiency. After you upload it to the application portal, we kindly ask you to please send us an email to study@ku.edu.tr indicating your name and application number, so that our team can check that the documents have been uploaded correctly and then share them with our registrar's office and our English proficiency, English language center, so that they can verify the scores in the relevant portals. After that is verified, then you will receive a full offer letter within 3 working days. Just in case, if your conditional offer was to submit English proficiency exam results, we're sharing here some notes to keep in mind. So you should make sure that if you're decided to take the TOEFL test, that you should have a score of at least 20 in the writing section. And if you take the Pearson Test of English academic test, you should have a score of 67. One thing to keep in mind is if you're already in Turkey and you're planning on taking any of these eligible English proficiency exams, they should be taken at state university test centers, as private test centers are not eligible under YÖK, Higher Council Education of Turkey rules. Okay, so please keep this in mind. What happens if you were offered admission with, for example, A levels or IB scores on your predicted scores, and your final scores do not match the predicted scores? You can email us to study@ku.edu.tr, so your specific case can be considered by the relevant admissions committee, and they will decide based on, how big is the grade difference, if you would still be allowed to enroll as a student or not. Typically, the answer is that you cannot enroll, but there have been some exceptions in previous years. So moving on, for those of you who have received your offer, whether conditional or full, and you're thinking now of accepting your offer, the way to do that is fairly simple. You just log into our application portal with your username and password. You will see a section called My Offers, and then you can click on the red OK, continue to step 2 button, as you see on the screen. Then you click on I have decided to attend your institution and save my choice and finish. So this will mean that you have accepted your offer. And then after that, you will receive an email with a confirmation that we have received your offer acceptance, and you will receive a pro forma invoice for your first semester tuition fees. Let me just very quickly move this. Okay, so how do you pay your first semester tuition fee? This is important both for you as offer holders and for your families or the people who will be covering your tuition fees. So you will receive your Koç University ID number about a week after you accept your offer. And you will also receive a pro forma invoice that contains a link. Once you click on that link, it's going to direct you to an online website called Param, which allows you to enter your details, as you see on the screen, and pay your first semester tuition fee with a debit card or a credit card that is allowed to make international transactions and online transactions. This is the only method to pay your tuition. In case you're in a country where this is not allowed or your bank doesn't allow that type of transactions, again, please get in touch with us so that we can support you in terms of making your first semester tuition fee payment through other means. But as I said, in order to have the best experience and receive your your credentials to enroll as a new student in the fastest way, the method to use is the Param online platform. In terms of how much you need to pay for your first semester, this depends on whether you receive a scholarship or not. So on the screen, you can see what are the first semester tuition fees for all programs except medicine, according to whether you received no scholarship or a 25%, 50%, 75%, or 100% scholarship. Those of you who have been accepted to our medicine program, there are no scholarships, as you may be aware, so you need to pay your first semester tuition fee, which is shown on the screen. Just as a reminder, and this is very important, and I would like you to please keep this in mind, these are tuition-only scholarships, so they do not cover other costs such as dormitories, books, living expenses, or any other fees. If you have been awarded a tuition scholarships, this will be valid for the duration of your study program, which, for example, except for medicine, is 4 years. If you decide to do a double major or you need to extend your duration of studies for any reason, you need to apply to the executive council of the university so that they can consider whether your scholarship will be extended beyond that period. And the most important thing that I want to emphasize today is, for example, if you were admitted to the university without a scholarship, or let's say with a 25% scholarship, please know that that amount of scholarship cannot be increased after you enroll and after you're an active student at the university during your first year, second, third, or even fourth year, okay? So even if your academic performance is excellent, you have a GPA of 4.0, you are very involved in community activities and so on, unfortunately, there is no increase in the tuition scholarships for current students. The only available support is a need-based scholarship, which is of very limited funding, and it's for cases of extreme financial hardship that some students may face during their studies. But again, it's not guaranteed that you will receive that scholarship, and that just means that your tuition is frozen for 1 semester. So please keep that in mind when you're making your decision on whether to enroll as a student or not. You should make sure that you or your family are able to fully cover your tuition for every year of your study period, which is 4 years, or in the case of medicine, for 6 years. Otherwise, you may be risking having to study and living with a lot of stress because of the financial pressures that you or your family may face in order to cover the tuition fee. So this is our advice for all new students. Now, once you have accepted your offer, you have paid your first semester fee, you then will receive your Koç University email address and password, as we mentioned before, by Friday, 18th of August. If you decide to accept your offer, let's say on the last day, which is 31st of August, of course, you will also receive this a bit later in September. You will be sent instructions via email from us, from the university, about how to complete the online registration form. The platform where this will happen, it's also going to be explained to you via email. So what's important here is that From now onwards, you need to make sure that you check all the emails that are being sent by the university. So all of our email addresses, institutional email addresses, end with @ku.edu.tr. So please make sure that you're checking your main inbox as well as your spam or junk mailbox to make sure that you do not miss any important information that will be sent either by our team, International Student Recruitment, or by the ICO team, International Community Office, or by our registrar's team, okay? So what you need to remember here is you will receive your Koç University email address and password. And once you have this, it's when you're able to enroll or register online. There is no need to come physically in person to the university to hand in physical documents. The whole process is done online, where you need to complete a form with details about yourself, and you need to upload a certain list of documents, which I'm going to show next. So what you need to make sure is that you have those documents ready, or that you can show that we will have them fairly soon after the start of the semester. So the required documents to enroll as a new student are your official diploma or graduation document, your equivalency certificate. We will talk about this in the next couple of slides. This is called in Turkish denklik belgesi. It's a letter that it's issued by the Ministry of Education of Turkey that states that your high school diploma is equivalent to a Turkish high school diploma, and that you have completed the required years of education, and that you have successfully completed your high school education. This is in case you graduated from a high school abroad or an international school in Turkey. You should also provide a copy of the information page of your passport, a biometric with the white background picture of yourself. Please keep in mind that this is the picture that will be used in all documents for the university, including your student ID card. So make sure that it is a professional, clear picture, and smile, because you use it everywhere. And if you're a Turkish citizen by birth, and you by law you have to renounce your citizenship in order to enroll in a Turkish university, then you need to show a copy of your Mavi card by the time you're completing your online registration. Now, let's talk a little bit about the equivalency certificate, because this is a very particular document that it's required only for Turkish universities, including Koç University. As I said, it's a letter. That letter is written in Turkish, and you can obtain it in two ways. Either you go to the Turkish consulate in your country. That's a preferable option, of course. And if the consulate or embassy has an educational attaché, then they will ask you for a list of documents, which I will show next, and you will be able to obtain the letter from your country. In some countries, this is not possible, so you will need to apply for the denklik once you are in Istanbul after you have arrived, okay? So you first need to obtain an online appointment to visit the branch of the Ministry of Education with the required documents. So in Istanbul, that office has a specific location in the Sultanahmet district. And to obtain an online appointment, you visit the website that you see on the screen, which is edenklik.meb.gov.tr. Okay, the website is available in Turkish, in English, and there's a couple more languages that you can access. However, the information may not be exactly accurate in other languages, so we recommend that you check the English language version of the page. One thing that it's very important to keep in mind is that if you completed your high school education with an international diploma, such as GCE, so A levels, or international baccalaureate or matura, you also need to obtain an equivalency certificate, okay? Now, what are the required documents to obtain the denklik? So these are the documents that will be requested from you, either from the Turkish educational attaché at the consulate in your country of residence, or once you're here, when you go to your appointment. So original copy of your passport, your student residence permit or student visa. If you have not yet arrived in Turkey, of course, it would be the student visa, your high school diploma, and your high school transcripts. Now, this should be translated to Turkish notarized, and apostilled. So this is the part that you should remember, that you do need to do these two official procedures, which is to have them notarized and apostilled. You should present your Koç University full acceptance letter, or if you have already enrolled, once you're in Istanbul, your enrollment certificate, a copy of this. And there is an application form that you can download from the eDenklik website, and you fill out and you sign it. As we were mentioning before, A-level diplomas and IB diplomas should be you should get a stamp of approval from both the British Council and or IB organization and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in your country. This is it's a bit of an arbitrary rule, not set by us as Koç University, but by the Ministry of Education of Turkey in order to issue the Denklik document. If you're going to be receiving your original A-level and IB results diploma and transcript in September, make sure that you get those approvals from the British Council in your country in case of GCE or IB before you arrive in Turkey. Otherwise, it's going to be quite a kind of costly affair to get all of those things done via post or DHL or other services. Okay, now we're going to talk about dorms. I want to make sure we're keeping to time. We have very short time, so I'll go faster now. The university offers dormitory accommodation to all students, domestic and international. However, we do have limited capacity, so we're not able to provide dormitory accommodation to all students or to all students who apply for a dormitory. So please keep this in mind. We have two dormitory campuses. One, it's called the Rumeli Feneri campus, which is where all of the academic and administrative buildings are located. So this is our main campus. And the other one is the West Campus. So it's a campus that is located approximately 7 minutes by car, and there are shuttle services offered by the university to and from the main campus. And there's also other public transport connections between the West Campus and the main campus. We have different room types that include double, triple, quadruple, and quintuple rooms. There are also single rooms, but these room types, even though we understand most students may want to choose this type of room for their first year, they're very, very limited in number. And the priority is always given to current students who are in their second, third, or fourth year who are coming from outside of Istanbul. So we are advising new international students that when they're applying for their dormitory accommodation to choose double, triple, quadruple, or quintuple rooms. Some rooms have en-suite bathrooms, but the majority have shared bathrooms. There's also some common areas such as the kitchen, lounge, and laundry room. The fees for the dormitories are paid in one installment. So you pay, before you join the university, if you have been placed in a dormitory room, you're able to, you should pay for the whole year in advance. In case you decide after you have moved in that you do not want to stay in the dorms, you rather stay outside of the campus in private accommodation, you can request for a refund, but there are some fees that are then cut from the amount that you paid, and more information about this is of course available on the dormitory website, which you can see on the screen. It's dorms.ku.edu.tr. The fees, the annual fees for the dorms have now been published on that website for the new academic year, which is the 2023-2024 academic year. Regarding the COVID vaccination requirements, as of this year, it was announced very recently. The university is advising students to be vaccinated, but it is not compulsory. So if you are, for example, underage and in your country, it is not possible to be vaccinated. If you're under 18 years old, that is okay. You will still be able to apply and to stay in dormitory rooms if you want to stay in dormitory rooms. Right, so in terms of the prices of our dormitories, here we're showing the prices in US dollars as of last week's exchange rate against the Turkish lira. The prices shown are the annual prices, so that covers the months from October until June, approximately 9 months. And as you can see, for example, in the case of our main campus, which is the one that it's within the main campus and in the academic buildings, the prices range from $1,990, so approximately $2,000, to $6,400 something. The fees are charged in Turkish lira if you're here, but they can also be charged in dollars. So we will provide more information about this on the admitted students page, and you will receive more information via email as well. In the case of our West Campus, you can see that the prices also range according to the room type and whether they have a bathroom or not, okay? If you want to ask questions about, does it make more sense to stay in the West Campus or the main campus? What are the pros and cons? These are exactly the sort of questions that we would advise that you ask once you join the Going app, which our colleagues from ICO will explain in a bit, because it's better to hear from current students what they consider to be the pros and the cons of staying in each type of campus and each type of room, other than the price information, of course. So who should you contact if you have a question or problem? So if it's anything related to your application status, receiving your Koç University ID number, email, password, and so on, you can contact our team, International Student Recruitment Directorate, and our team email address is on the screen, study@ku.edu.tr. Once you have started your online registration process, if you get stuck or you face any type of technical problems with the online registration form, then we kindly ask you to contact our registrar's office, which you can see their email on screen. All of these email addresses and information are also, of course, available on our website. If you have any issues in terms of the payment of your tuition fees, you can contact our student accounting team. If you have applied for dormitories, have received your placement information, and you have any questions after you check the website and you cannot find any answers, please email our housing team. For any visa related questions or student residence permit questions or pre-arrival support information, you can contact our International Community Services Office. You will meet them in about a couple of minutes. And we also have a newcomers advising office. You're not going to hear from them at least until you enroll and until the academic year starts. If you have any questions for our security office in terms of entering the campus or dorms, you can find it here, okay? But the main thing for now is to make sure that you check our admitted students page on international.ku.edu.tr. Again, I'm putting our contact details here. Make sure that you write them down, that you follow us on social media. If you want to share some of your kind of reactions or your thoughts on joining Koç University, please feel free to tag us in your social media post. So now I'm going to kindly ask our colleagues from International Community Services Office, Ms. Begum, to share her screen because they have a very informative presentation as well. And please make sure that you pay attention to that.
Yes, thank you so much, Melissa. Hi, everyone. It's very nice to meet you, even though it's through Zoom for now. We're very excited to get to meet you in September and also to give you some information beforehand. So we will also kind of quickly explain the processes that will start from now and also what you should expect upon your arrival. To introduce us, we're the International Community Services Office, and we've been, let's say, the office that's responsible for all international community members since 2014. We're 3 team members. We have Mr. Ayhan Şeker, who's our specialist responsible of work permits. We have Mr. Mert Demircan, who's with me today, and he will be speaking to also in the upcoming slides. And then I'm Begüm Çiçek. I'm also a specialist in the ICO. And like I just mentioned, we're responsible of all international community members. So while we're responsible for you as international students, we're also responsible of international staff members, faculty members, researchers, interns, etc. And we, in our office, we have 3 main, let's say, responsibilities. One of them is bureaucratic support. So there we assist pre-arrival with information regarding visa and support with letters and stuff like that. And then upon arrival, we assist you with residence permit applications and address registration. And there are many other bureaucratic procedures, official procedures that you will need to kind of learn about. And we go on and try our best to support you on that. And how we do that is by developing resources. So we have an extensive website, which I will explain in a minute. We also have a lot of guides on our website that take you through all of these processes step by step. We also hold sessions like this one, and also on campus, we hold orientation sessions. And then we have social integration programs. So once this, let's say, hectic period is over and then you become a Koç University international student, you can also take part in our many multicultural programs and projects that take place throughout the year. So this is how our website looks. We have all of our most important information here, as well as some news that may pertain to you. And when we go to the website, the most important thing that you can pay attention to is our resources menu, which I think is on the next slide. Yes. So once you click resources, you can see all the information that we're about to share with you in detail, but also you can refer back to it at any point. So, of course, once we get to know each other here, if you end up having questions in the upcoming days or weeks following up to your enrollment, you can always contact us. I will also be sending the information right now in the chat. We have a contact form, which you fill out, and then we get back to you during our work hours. If you contact us and we have some things that we can discuss more in detail, then we can also have a one-on-one advising appointment, either in person, but most likely online, so we can talk about whatever you need consultation on. So now for the pre-arrival information. Many of you are probably not here in the country at the moment, so you may have questions about how to come here. Do you need a visa? Can you just come with your passports, etc.? So for that, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has a very extensive list of all nationalities and the conditions in which they can enter the country. And here we will break them down for you. So the first one, which is relatively the easiest one, is visa exemption. So there are some countries that, like when you check on the list, that might say that ordinary passport holders can enter Turkey for either 30 days or 60 days or 90 days without a visa. In that case, you're more than welcome to do so. You can come without a student visa, and that's totally fine. But you need to apply for a residence permit, which we will explain later, within the duration of this entry. Anyway, regardless of your visa type, if you have a visa, if you don't have a visa, you will apply for the student residence permit. At this point, though, it's important to be mindful about the days that you can stay in the country without a visa or a residence permit. And generally, what we also advise, it's okay, we can move on to the next one. I'll explain that too. So in any case, you need to come to Turkey with a passport. Let's say you're from Azerbaijan and you can come with a national ID. You don't need a passport. Even in that case, you need to come with a passport, because to apply for the student residence permit, you will need to enter the country with a passport. Another thing would be an e-visa. Some countries require like only an e-visa. Again, you may take one and come, that's totally fine. You can obtain an e-visa from the website that is seen on screen. Usually it's either 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days. So you should be mindful of that too. The third one is a student consular visa. So if you check this list at the beginning that we showed, and for your nationality, it says that you're required to have a consular visa, then you will apply for a student visa. Each nationality has different criteria, so you need to be in contact with the Turkish embassy or consulate in your country. And this process may take some time. That's why we advise that you check the information that we just mentioned, even from today onwards, and take action accordingly. If the case is that you need to apply for a student visa, then you can get in contact with us and we can prepare a visa support letter for you, which will help you in this process. But for this, you need to keep in mind that you should pay your semester fees. And once you complete your semester fees, we're able to produce this letter for you. All this information that I just mentioned about the entry and the visa and the visa exemption, we will also be emailing it to you. But additionally, you can see it on our website under resources. There's entry to Turkey. You can go there and see this information there as well. So another thing that you may be kind of wondering about would be off-campus housing. So as Ms. Melissa mentioned, there is, of course, dormitory options. If you're not going to be staying in a dormitory and let's say either you'll be living with family or you will be living on your own off campus, we have created a guide that has information regarding real estate agencies or websites that you can look at. Also important information regarding renting a flat, how to set up utilities, etc. Something that we need to note at this point is this doesn't pertain to you as a student, but if you're planning on moving here with family or you will be with somebody who's not going to be getting a student residence permit, there is a limitation for districts in Istanbul. So there are some districts that foreigners cannot obtain residence permits in. Although you're a student, you're exempt from this, but if you're coming with family, we ask that you be mindful of this. Detailed information is available on our website. But aside from that, something that's also very important is if you start to, let's say, look for off-campus housing, and then upon your arrival, you're thinking of renting a flat, you need to make sure that you get the contract made, the rental contract made at a notary, along with your homeowner. So you need to go with the landlord to the notary and prepare it as regulated by the Migration Office. This process is also explained on our website. I will not go into detail at this moment, but if you end up having questions, you can of course reach out to us. So on to a more fun topic. There's the, as Melissa mentioned as well, there's the Go and Connect app. So this is an app where prospective Koç University international students like yourselves can meet current Koç University international students like our buddies who are joining us today. Hello to them. So once you join this app, there's a Koç University code that you can use, and all the students that you will see are Koç University students. So once you enter, there will be many different groups that you can be a part of. Aside from that, there will also be a pre-arrival guide that will have all of the information regarding housing and visa types and residence permit and everything, even within the app. And you will be able to connect with students who are already at Koç University, ask them your questions, or connect with one another as prospective international students and kind of start talking about what you're planning on doing once you arrive. Yep. So as a student, like I mentioned, you can join the groups, you can ask your questions, you can get to know more about life at Koç University, you can keep the conversation going. Also, we have a Meet the Buddies chat that you can also look at. Our buddies introduce themselves a little bit over there, so you can also start to make friends. So if you would like, you can scan this QR code and already start to be of the part of the community. Also, an invitation will be sent out to you via email. You can sit tight and wait for that too. We'll be happy to share that with you as well. So I mentioned buddies a little bit. Let me get more into detail about that. So upon your arrival, you will be greeted by a buddy, and a buddy is a friendly guide to you degree-seeking undergraduate students. They are current Koç University students who volunteer to help you in your first semester at Koç University with a strong sense of responsibility and belief in the values of volunteerism, hospitality, diversity, inclusion, and equality. And they are very helpful and empathetic to people from different backgrounds. So of course, once you join the Goin app, you'll already meet our buddies and start talking with them. But at the start of September, you will be individually matched with a buddy. So this buddy will be the one that's going to be supporting you throughout your first semester. We will be sending out an email to you with your buddy on CC, and you can start talking with one another and continue your conversation on WhatsApp or the communication channel of your choosing. And in the orientation, you will get to meet them face to face as well. So once you get your Koç University email, make sure to stay updated there too. So now I'll be passing the mic on to Matt, who will continue with the rest of the presentation.
Thank you, Begum, for your word. And now let's continue with the post-arrival. What you are going to find in Istanbul and what will be your life in Istanbul look like after you arrive in. So let's start. Of course, you will land in either in the Asian or European side of Istanbul. We have two airports, Istanbul or Sabiha Gökçen airports. In the European side, we have Istanbul airport, and we suggest you book your tickets to Istanbul airport. But after then how you will arrive on campus, we have the instructions on our website under the resources menu. We have arriving on campus page where you can find how to commute from the airport that you chose, and then after you are on campus, actually after checking in, we have the instructions on our website. So it's really important for you to check out our website. As my colleague Begum mentioned, you will be matched with your buddies, your buddies, during your orientation. So we will have an orientation. It will be like a general orientation, but a specific orientation for international underdegree seeking students. We are going to have an orientation, and there you will be meeting your buddies. And during this orientation days, you will be able to meet and greet with your buddies. You will learn much more about life at Koç University in Istanbul. We will go much more deep into the student residence permit application process. I will mention it now just like a point, but we will be giving you much more detailed information. You will be learning much more official procedures like how to register your address, how to get a tax ID number, etc. And of course, your buddies will be guiding you through the campus. There will be a campus tour. I'm sure that you will all love the campus. Yeah, student residence permit. So what it is and why it is important. As an international underdegree, international student at Koç University, you are obliged by law to obtain a residence permit, which is a student residence permit for you, because you will be studying in Turkey for more than 3 months. Basically, there are 3 steps that you need to take. We have an application guide. We have the instructions on our website. We will be guiding you through the process on the orientation day and afterwards, of course. But here, just to give you a point of view, there are 3 main steps. First, you have to collect the required documents, which are listed on the website. There is around 7 to 8 documents that you need to collect. And then you have to make an online application on the government website, official government website, where we will be guiding you through the process through our instructions guides. And then the third step is to have us check your documents, compile a file for you, and then you need to show up on your appointment on the application platform. You will request an appointment to submit your documents, and the system will assign you a specific date and time, and you are required to go to your appointment to submit your documents. So there are 3 main steps in this process, and we will be guiding you through the process like 101, so do not worry about it. It's a really easy process. And for those who are under 18 years old, it's an important point that I need to mention. So if you are coming without a visa, like just a passport, you are going to enter Turkey because your country is exempt from visa, and you are under 18, you have to provide the listed 2 documents. apostille birth certificate, and apostille consent letter signed by both of your parents. If your parents are divorced, your guardian parent should give you an official consent stating that they allow you to study in Turkey and they will be financially helping, supporting you. So what is apostille is that it's like an approval stamp from your home country if your home country is a party to the International Apostille Convention. I'm not going to deep on this thing because we have all the information on the website. So you can basically first check if your country is a party to the Apostille Convention. We have the link on the website, and then if yes, that's perfect. You need to get those documents from the authorities in your country, and most of the cases it's the notary publics, and then you get the apostille. You get these documents apostille. Then once you are in Turkey, you need to get them translated and notarized. That's all. And after that, you are good to use these documents in Turkey. And please make sure to bring the original apostille documents with you so that you can have them translated and notarized. But in case your country is not a party to the Apostille Convention, please contact us or check out our website to see the path that you need to go through. So yeah, you applied for a residence permit, student residence permit, and you got it in a month, most probably a month or in a month you will get your residence permit. So after that, what you can do with your residence permit. So first, you will be able to open a bank account. Minding the period that you will be living in Turkey, like you are an degree-seeking undergraduate student, at least 4 years you are going to stay here. So a bank account will be a necessity for you. So you can open a bank account with your student residence permit card. You can obtain an e-Devlet, which is e-government account. So what is e-Devlet? So in Turkey, we have e-government platform where you can get almost all government-related official documents with barcodes or QR codes that are official as well. So it's a really big relief for us. So you will be able to get a password PIN code for that so that you can use this platform to obtain your government-related, Turkish government-related official documents. So it's a really easy way. Then you can register your mobile device that you brought from home. I will explain this to you as well soon. And then you will be able to register your address once you get your student residence permit card, which is a mandatory process for all residents in Turkey. So at the end of the day, you will be asked to register your address. So you will be able to get it after you get your student residence permit card. So in case you are wondering the process and you want to read more about the student residence permit acquisition, you are more than welcome to check out our website before you arrive so that you will know how it looks like, what documents you will need, etc. And in case you have any questions, you can open a Trackit, and then we will be getting in touch with you as soon as we can. Yeah. Health insurance is a must. It's not for the bureaucratic thing only, but also it's for your own good. So you want to make sure that you have health insurance because you don't know when and how you can get it, like any sickness or an accident. So it's very important. So the first option for you is that once you get your student residence permit card, you can apply for and obtain a state health insurance, like a public health insurance here, which is called SGK, so Student Social Security. But there's a time period that you need to be aware of that. So there should be 3 months between the registration of your registration at Koç University and you get your student residence permit card. So if it happens within 3 months, it's perfect. You can just obtain public health insurance. You will need to pay for that as well. And this is also recommended by the Migration Directorate. So this is the first option. The second option is that home country social security, which is called formula. So there are some countries that have bilateral agreements with Turkey. It can be Azerbaijan, it can be Iran, it can be Pakistan maybe. So we have a list on our website. You can just click on the link and see if your country has a agreement with Turkey. So the main idea here is that if your country has an agreement with Turkey, you can use your home country social security as you are in your home country in Turkey. So you can have access to public health care services in Turkey as if you are in your home country, but you need to activate it. So we have the instructions on our website again. If you miss those two options, you still have the third one, which is private health insurance. So please note that we do not assume any responsibility, and you are the only responsible person who need to contact the agencies, follow through with all transactions, and make sure you understand your policy coverage very well. So there are some private agencies in the city center, online, or also on campus. We have a credit bank, and they can provide you Allianz health insurance. So you can just simply go there and ask for their procedures. We have the instructions on our website again. So it will be very easy for you to get the knowledge on how to do things. So this is again on the website under the resources menu. We have health and emergency section. There you can find almost everything. Registering mobile phones is important because I'm sure that you will be bringing your own mobile device from your home country. You are good to use your mobile device in Turkey for 120 days. That's perfect, that's fine. But after 120 days, the calling features of your phone will be blocked if you do not register your phone. So you have some alternatives here. So the first thing is to register your phone, mobile device that you brought from home. How to do that is it has 3 steps. So first you have to pay the phone registration fee online, which is called 20,000 Turkish liras. It's kind of much actually. Then you have to get an e-devlet password. So you have to wait for your student residence permit card first, and then you get e-devlet password. After that, we have a video guide. You need to log into your e-devlet account, and then you have to register your phone. So this is the first option. The second option is that since 20,000 Turkish lira is kind of high, you can consider purchasing a new phone here in Turkey as well, just to use the calling features maybe. That's perfect. And the third option is that some of the international students in other cities and other universities, I heard they do that. So you can basically purchase a kind of not expensive phone and get your SIM card, Turkish SIM card. And then after 120 days, what you are going to do is that you can just use your mobile data on that phone and use the hotspot and connect your actual phone to that phone to use it. By the way, let me highlight that after 120 days, you will be able to still use the Wi-Fi connection of the phone, so it's perfect. It's just the calling features that will not work, so you will not get any SMS, or you will not get any calls, or you cannot make any calls. So that's important point that you need to know. So let's talk about life on campus. It's the fun part, but before we start, we recommend you to download KU Mobile, where you can find all the guides and information about campus, like faculty guide. We have like a transportation, we have the dining services, what kind of food or like the meal of the day is served on a specific date. You can find almost all information about campus. So we recommend you download this KU Mobile app on your phone. So the next thing is that as ICO, we have really strong communication channels to reach you. And one of them is newsletter. So we have a monthly newsletter where we gather all the information that we think you need to know as an international community member at Koç University. And we gather them together monthly basis. We publish them. not only the news, but also we gather the upcoming events either on campus or city center. We put them together for your service. So we have this newsletter for you so that you can benefit from after your arrival. We have an Instagram account, which we highly urge you to follow us because we provide information there, like the official announcements. We have some suggestions, like where to go, what to do in Istanbul and also in Turkey. We have some Instagram projects, like we have some like survival Turkish posts. We have interviews where you can find the lives of other Koç University members, etc. So we have this account really actively. So we use it really actively. We suggest you to follow us, not to miss any information. Last but not least, we have vocalized campus and career instructions on our website. So if you visit Life at Koç University in Istanbul section of our website, you will see the vocalized campus tour, where you can find all the units, the buildings and facilities of the campus. And also we think that it's really important for an international person to know the district, the neighborhood they will be living in. So we have a really fun Sarıyer district vocalized PowerPoint presentation for you to check. So we highly suggest you to check them before your arrival so that you will have an idea what you will find here. So this is not our website, but this is a government-run website for international people who have residence permits or are thinking about moving into Turkey. So it's Live in Turkey. You can find almost all information regarding living in Turkey here. So it covers almost everything. If you cannot find any information on our website, you can check this website, and then still if you can't find any information, you can simply open a Tracket with us. You can request a Tracket. You can create a Tracket, and we will be getting back to you as soon as we can. Yeah, let's move to our programs, our projects. So my colleague Begum already told you that we create some programs and projects to enhance the multicultural environment here on campus. And Cool Guys program is one of them. So the main idea here is that we want you, the international community members of Koç University, find at least one event that is run by the either local or international Koç University member. So we have students, volunteer students, who are planning and organizing events under our control, under our supervision, either on campus or city center, either free of charge or you need to pay. So it's really fun. What you need to do is just follow us, our announcements, either on the website or Instagram, and just join, like fill out the RSVP form and join. It's a really fun program. And who knows, maybe next year you will want to be a volunteer as well. So let's see. This is one of the fun programs that we do on campus. And the other thing is that we provide Turkish Coffee Hour program, where we help the international community members at Koç University who are learning Turkish and want to practice their conversational Turkish skills, meet with local people or the international people who are advanced in Turkish. So we meet twice a week. We have two groups, one beginners, one advanced. It's always fun to meet and practice Turkish. There are some particular sessions where they sing songs or read poetries maybe, or do some games, fun games. So if you are learning Turkish and want to practice your Turkish, this program is just for you, but please note that you are required to have at least basic Turkish knowledge to be participating in this program. So it's not a place to teach Turkish, not at all, but help you to practice your Turkish. And if you are interested in learning Turkish, of course, we have other options listed on the website. We have either online or in-person options to learn Turkish. If you check out our website, get involved session on the top menu, you will see learning Turkish section so that you will know how to start learning Turkish. So I would like to give you this project as well, Explore Istanbul. So because I think it's quite unique for you to explore the new city that you are going to move into. So we gathered the suggestions of the Koç University members where they would label hidden gems and also they would suggest the newcomers to visit in Istanbul. And we put all the suggestions into one Istanbul map, and it's a live map. We still continuously gather the suggestions and put them into the map. So you can just simply check out the website, the map, and decide where you want to visit. All those places are suggested by the Koç University members, either international or local, and these are the places they actually recommend you to visit in Istanbul. Yeah. So in a nutshell, this is our office. You will get to know us much more during the orientation, and also we will meet in person, hopefully in September. Looking forward to meeting you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mert and Begum from our International Community Office for the very detailed and thorough presentation. I always love learning about all of the very nice social integration activities and projects that you are continuously developing. And we are very lucky to have a team like this at our university. So we're doing well on time. We will have about 27 minutes for questions from our participants today or offer holders. So I will start right away. The first question, let me go to the top in our Q&A panel. Is it 31st of September or 30 September, the date of closing of the online registration? It's 31st of September. So I will mark this as done. You will find all of the dates, of course, on the international.ku.edu.tr website under the admitted students page. There is a question here, which is, do overseas students need to bring original diplomas, transcript certificates to the university, or uploading copies to the university portal is sufficient? So in order to enroll as a student, you just need to upload copies to the university online registration form. However, to apply for your high school equivalency letter, denklik in Turkish, or for example, to apply for your student residence permit, once you are in Istanbul, you will need to bring original documents such as your passport, your diplomas, transcripts, etc. So it is always good to have, of course, maybe in a cloud or email environment that you have properly scanned copies of all of your documents, and that you bring your original documents to the university because they will be needed for some procedures. Okay. When do we need to apply for the denklik document as an A-level student? So if you're in a country where you're able to apply for it through the Turkish consulate or embassy, because they do have an educational attaché staff member, you apply from your own country before you arrive in Turkey. If that is not possible, then you apply once you are here in Istanbul. You can start to apply for an online appointment from now, because of course there's about, if I'm not wrong, there's about 100,000 international students in Istanbul alone. So every year the number keeps growing. So there is a lot of requests on the system, and it may not be possible to get an appointment to apply for your denklik document as soon as possible in September or even October. So the earlier you can apply for the appointment, that's the recommendation that we give. Okay. About the tuition. So the tuition must be paid before August 31st. Can this be done in installments? So if you're an international student who is paying the tuition in US dollars, no. So the installments are by semester. So you have 2 installments. The first installment you pay before August 31st, and then the second installment you're going to pay before the start of the spring semester, usually around end of January or early February. If you're a student who is paying your tuition in Turkish lira because you have Turkish citizenship, or you have renounced your Turkish citizenship and you're under the Mavi card status, then you would be able to pay in installments if you're eligible to use the Yapı Kredi. Yapı Kredi is a Turkish bank that they offer a specific financing option for Turkish citizens, so that you can pay your semester tuition in up to 4 installments. Of course, there is a fee for that, an interest rate charge on that. So those are the options. Is there any possibility of losing your scholarship? You would have to do very, very badly, basically. There are no specific GPA requirements to maintain your scholarship during your period of study, but in order to graduate and obtain your diploma, you do need to show a GPA of 2.0 or higher. So that's what you need to keep in mind. Of course, if you incur in any type of disciplinary penalties or issues, this will be considered, but in terms of academic performance, it's very rare. I don't know of anyone who has lost their scholarship yet. So I hope that answers your question. I have sent my TOEFL results to Koç, but still in the portal, I'm so sorry, I can't select the option because I don't have a document. What should I do? Right, so the important thing about TOEFL results is that you need to request to ETS, which is the organization that manages the TOEFL test, that they should share your electronic results with Koç University so that our ELC team can log in, find you, and verify your results. And as I mentioned before, you also need to upload your TOEFL test score report as a PDF, as a soft copy, to your online application and email us to let us know you have done that. We don't receive an automatic notification when someone has uploaded a new document. So you need to inform our team so that we can then check and verify and ask ELC to verify their results. Okay. When will the fees for blue card holders be announced? Very soon. We're expecting the tuition fees for the domestic students to be announced on Thursday or Friday this week, because that's when the YKS, the National University Entrance Exam results, are also going to be announced. So I ask you to kindly, hold on, sit tight, because later this week, those fees will be published on our website on international.ku.edu.tr under the tuition and scholarships page for undergraduate programs. So you will be seeing them there. And then if you have accepted your offer, you will also be receiving a pro forma invoice with your semester tuition fees in Turkish lira written on the pro forma invoice and the link to pay for it using the Param online platform. There's a question: why won't a student get a scholarship if they had a high GPA during the 4 years of their studies? There are some universities that have policies such as, Dean's Honor Roll or sports scholarships or academic achievement scholarships. That's not the case at Koç University. The reason is the university already provides a very, very high percentage of scholarships to a large percentage of its student body. And that's how we're able to operate as a non-profit university. We're a private non-for-profit university, so we need to keep that in mind. Of course, you're welcome. We always encourage students to do research and see if they would be eligible for external scholarships to cover their living expenses or even part of their tuition fees, whether from their national governments like Ministry of Education or Ministry of Science, or individual foundations or educational loans that they may be eligible for from their own country. Okay. What are medical facilities available at the university? Do the students need to have prior health insurance, or medical coverage would be provided at university? So maybe Mert, can you comment on that? So as I understand, you need to have health insurance.
Yeah, so basically you need to have health insurance, but in case you have an accident without getting a health insurance, we have Koç University Hospital where you can find at least 25% from all the cost. However, of course, we don't recommend that. As soon as you arrive in Turkey, we personally, I mean, as an office, suggest you to get your private health insurance because it's an important matter. But still, you can wait until you get your student residence permit card. And if you get your student residence permit card within 3 months of your registration, you can get public state-run public health insurance as well. This is recommended by the migration office. But just to be on the safe side, we recommend you get your health insurance at the moment, maybe the same week that you arrive in Istanbul. And also the facilities, we have health center, both campuses, West and main campus. You are free to use them. And of course, in the Sarıyer Center, the Sarıyer is a district of the university. You will find state-run and also private hospitals and medical centers as well.
Yeah, our health center is a great facility. I mean, it's open 24 hours, 7 days a week. They have doctors and nurses who can speak Turkish and English. So in case you have a minor medical need, usually they're able to support you there. If you have, for example, the need to run some lab tests, you know, some of them are available from there. If you need, for example, a prescription drug, then they're able to make the request from there and you receive it and pick it up from the health center. So you don't need to go out to a pharmacy outside of campus. So it is very convenient in terms of minor medical needs. If you request or you have a need for something more serious in terms of test or treatment or diagnosis, then we also have Koç University Hospital, as Mert mentioned, or nearby state hospitals and private hospitals. Oh, sorry, I just answered one without answering. Let me go back to this. There was a question, but I think it was answered. Do you assist us in finding a rental home and a rental car? Do you have any association with rental companies? And it was answered.
Yeah, I answered that.
Yeah, so that would be covered in the off-campus housing guide. We don't recommend, I think, for example, like specific landlords and things like that, but there are guides and websites that you can check where you can find listings, and there's general advice on what to look for in terms of the contracts, what's okay to charge for, what's not okay, things like that. And of course, the bodies can also provide their experiences in terms of renting housing off campus. Do we submit the residence permit documents to the university or to the governmental organization?
The answer to this question is the government office. So let me explain it. So I told you that there are 3 steps. You need to complete the required documents, make an online application, and submit your documents to the office. So once you are making your online application, you will be requesting an appointment. And then the system will automatically assign you a specific date and time, and you are required to go to your appointment. So basically, you need to go to your appointment to the migration office and submit your papers in person. But before that, we will be guiding you to visit us so that we can check your documents and compile your folder so it will be ready without any problem.
I want to make it also a quick note here. For example, if you have applied to the university with the guidance and support of an educational agency, please note that you know, they may also help in terms of preparing the documents, but our team at the university will have the time to also check all of your documents, make sure that they're correct, that they're in the right order, the right color, you know, that like there's a lot of details that an educational agency from outside of Turkey may not be aware of. However, our team is keeping always up to date with the latest regulations and little tips and tricks that you have to kind of keep in mind. So please make sure that you attend the desk, the open desk hours that they will make available for all new international students to apply for your student residence permit, okay? There was a question here again about student residence permit. So do we need to follow the same instructions for the residence permit if we already have a student residence permit from our high school? So I'm assuming this is an international citizen who is currently studying their high school in Turkey.
Yeah, I think that student already contacted us, but for the rest of the attendees, I just want to answer this question. So still you have to get student residence permit to be a legal citizen, legal residence in Turkey. So if you have a residence permit as a high school student, since your degree of study is going to change from high school to university degree, you need to still get a residence permit. And in that case, you are free to use your student residence permit until it expires. And before that, you need to have a new residence permit. And if you have any specific question on this process, you are free to create a tracket to us so that we can answer it.
One thing I want to clarify, because before I joined the university, I didn't know what a tracket was. So tracket just means that you're gonna send an email to the ICO office.
ICO at KU, yes.
Exactly. So once you send an email to ico@ku.edu.tr, you first receive an automatic response confirming that they have received your email and that they will be replying to your email as soon as possible. So that makes sure that you know that someone is reading your email. You don't need to worry about that. Okay, that's what track it means. All right, so another question: can a dual national apply and get student residence permit if he or she wishes to? So here I would assume that you're referring that the person also has Turkish citizenship.
That's what I assume, like perceived as well. So the thing is that if you already have a dual citizenship, which means that you have Turkish citizenship, you do not need to worry about residence permit. So we would not suggest you start this process. I'm not sure if it's okay. I guess it's okay, but we can just check with the authorities if you want us to do so. But there's no need for you to bother yourself with this process. So you already have citizenship and you don't need to do that.
That also applies for students who renounce their Turkish citizenship. So Mavi card students, right?
Yeah. Can you repeat it?
If also that applies to students who have Mavi card status.
Yeah, Mavi card status is also the citizenship status, so it's totally fine. The Mavi card holders, blue card holders do not require to apply for residence permit. They already have the right to stay in Turkey as long as they wish.
Great, thank you. There's a question here. Will the tuition fee increase every year? It depends. So of course, the university tries to maintain the tuition fees as stable as possible. However, we are in a country, Turkey, that has experienced very large, very high inflation levels in the past year and a half, and also increase in costs as everywhere around the world. So there may be tuition fee increases in line with inflation every year. This is particularly true for students who are paying their tuition in Turkish lira. However, those who are paying in dollars may be a little bit protected if the lira continues to be devaluating against the dollar. So the answer is not yes or no, maybe. Okay. So it depends on how the situation, the economic situation in Turkey is over the period of study that you're here. Now there's a couple of questions about English proficiency. So the person has written, I have provided English proficiency 1 month ago, but still didn't receive a full acceptance letter. What should I do? Email us, please, because it means that we didn't know that you have uploaded your English proficiency test. So please send us an email to study@ku.edu.tr indicating your name and your application number to let us know that you have both uploaded your TOEFL or Pearson or CAE English test and that you have shared the electronic results. You have instructed ETS or Pearson to share the electronic results with Koç University so that they can be verified, okay? The same question, we have it twice. Okay. I have paid my first semester payment, but I still didn't get my acceptance letter. I paid 5 days ago. Should I wait more or do I have to contact with the university? You should be receiving it within this week because our student accounting team, they're checking the payments that are received once a week. So they should be checking by Friday this week. In case you have not received your final acceptance or full acceptance letter by next Monday, please do also email us to study@ku.edu.tr to make sure that you receive it as soon as possible. There's a question here. Does my offer get deferred for a year in case I win the Turkish scholarships and have to study Turkish for a year? No. So Koç University is one of the very few foundation universities in Turkey that has an agreement with YTB, which is the Turkish Scholarships Managing Organization. And in our case, students are able to start their undergraduate program because all of our programs are in English. But the commitment that they have to agree to is that over 4 years, they're going to be learning Turkish to a B2 level, and then providing a certificate from either TOMER, which is an organization that teaches Turkish, or Yunus Emre Institute, which is another organization that teaches and certifies Turkish language proficiency by the time you graduate. So within 4 years, you need to learn Turkish to a B2 level, and then provide a certificate showing that in order to obtain your diploma once you graduate. So you do not need to defer for a year. You can start directly your undergraduate program if you're awarded the Turkish scholarship. Another question, will you send the Going app username and password? Yes, you will be sending an email tomorrow. You will receive it from the online application system email address, and it will have the instructions on how to join the Going Connect app and the code for Koç University. So please make sure you check your emails tomorrow. And we will be sending it again after that for students who accept their offer later than that. Considering that you said the number of dormitory rooms are limited, how can we increase the probability of staying in the dormitory rooms? I wish I had the answer to that. What I would advise is maybe having a diverse mix of room types so that you can be placed at one of your room choices. For example, if you indicate only double rooms as you will be asked to list in order of priority up to 10 room types according to like double, triple, quadruple, or so on, and the campus location, and whether they have ensuite or shared bathrooms and so on. So if you put only, for example, double rooms, that may make things difficult because a lot of people will be applying for the same room types. But if you have a mix of, that you're open to considering staying in triple rooms, quadruple rooms, quintuple rooms, and so on, then of course, I think that would help in terms of being placed in the dormitory rooms. Do we definitely need to have Turkish passport to pay in installments, even though we have a credit card in banks in Turkey? This is a question that I would kindly ask you to check with Yapı Kredi, because the financing option that we have for Turkish students is through Yapı Kredi. So you would need to check if they would allow you to apply for that financing option and then pay in installments. So this is something that, for example, if you are already in Turkey and you want to visit our campus, we can direct you to our branch campus of Yapı Kredi, and we can verify that. You can also send us an email to study@ku.edu.tr with a few more details so that we can also check and give you an answer. So I applied to Koç after my TOEFL exam. So ETS did not send the result, but I uploaded the PDF. Is that acceptable? It's acceptable, but not enough. You need to also instruct ETS to share the electronic results with Koç University so that they can be verified electronically in a quicker way, because otherwise they will be sending only the paper copies to the university, and that can take a couple of months. Right, we're nearly near the end of the question and answer session. We have 2 questions, and then we will check some questions that were written on the chat. During the presentation, you had mentioned that need-based aid may be given later on if there are any extreme circumstances. Does that apply to students in all faculties? Yes, so all of our colleges, if you're a student in any of our colleges, you are eligible to apply for the need-based scholarship. But as I said, it's very limited funding. It only means freezing your tuition payment for 1 semester, and you need to provide a lot of very detailed documentation to demonstrate the financial need that you're going through. For example, this would maybe mean translating documents related to your family's payrolls or income, taxes, properties, and so on, which can also have a cost. So please keep in mind that that shouldn't be a way of reducing your tuition, because it's only for 1 semester. Dozens and dozens of students apply to this, and only a handful are awarded a need-based scholarship based on the funding available. Okay, so please keep that in mind. So there's a question here. I've been selected based on my SAT score, but I've done A levels and have also given predicted grades in my application. If I receive less than the predicted grades in my A level result, will my offer be canceled? So it depends. If you received a full offer letter, it means that it doesn't matter what final grades you have in your A level. So you don't need to worry about that. If your offer letter was a conditional offer letter based on your A level results and you have final grades that are lower than your predicted grades, then yes, then your offer may be canceled, especially if the difference in grades is very high. Okay. Right. So I take A levels and I applied for a Turkish scholarship and I chose Koç as my first choice, but they told me that I needed to enter SAT scores, not A levels. So this could hinder the possibility to get a full scholarship, even though I have a 75% conditional acceptance scholarship in Koç admission. What should I do? Right. So the YTB organization, sometimes they're very black and white in terms of how they interpret admission requirements. We have instructed them to also consider A-level candidates, but they may not be applying it in practice. So thank you for letting us know the response that you received. Please send us an email to study@ku.edu.tr indicating your name, Koç University application ID number, and your Turkish scholarship application ID number as well, so we can double check with them whether you have been shortlisted or not, and we will then give you an update. So were the scholarships awarded only based on academic performances? Yes, so our merit tuition-based scholarships are decided by the admissions committee of the college that you're applying admission to, of the program where the college where the program is located, and they're based on a holistic evaluation of the candidates that include their academic performance in high school, their eligible test scores, interview performance, recommendation letters, motivation letter, extracurricular activities, and so on. So financial need is not a part of the consideration in terms of awarding the tuition scholarship from the university. Final question. Even if you've been selected on your SAT score, will A-level results affect the offer? And usually no. However, you're welcome to email us and we can, if it's a specific petition that you want for the admissions committee to consider, we're more than happy to pass it on to the admissions committee and they can decide. Okay, but you would need to have very, very good A-level results, meaning, three A stars or that type of final grade combination. Okay, so I'm just going to move very quickly now to the chat to make sure that we're not missing on any question. There was a question from a parent. Thank you so much for joining. Really enjoy when parents also join these sessions. And it was about providing temporary accommodation during the orientation period for parents. Unfortunately, we cannot offer kind of guest accommodation for parents, neither for, Turkish parents coming from outside Istanbul or international parents. However, you can check Airbnbs and hotel accommodation options near campus or near metro stations that are along the M2 metro line. That's the closest metro line that we have to the campus. The closest metro station is called Hacı Osman. However, if you decide to stay in hotel or Airbnb accommodation anywhere in Taksim, Levent, Maslak, and so on, it's fairly easy to then reach your campus. One thing to keep in mind is that usually during the orientation period, parents are not really part of the program. You're welcome to drop off. Of course, it's an important day in your child's life, but there aren't specifically program activities for parents. In terms of paying the tuition, of course, as I said, the payment is also done online. And where parents are involved, for example, typically is during the check-in day to their dormitory accommodation, where they're helping with suitcases and settling their room and so on. But that's pretty much it. So I want you to keep that in mind. Let's see, similar question. Can you recommend any accommodation near the university? So I would say also check the off-campus housing guide that it's available on the International Community Office website, and Mert kindly provided the link. Let's see if there's any other questions. I think we have other questions. We covered them. Okay. There was a question about double major programs. Yes, you can apply to double majors. There are just some limitations in terms of the college that you're currently in and the double majors that you can apply to. And this is all going to be explained during the orientation. And you can only apply for a double major after you have completed your first year at the university. You cannot apply from the first semester. Similarly, if you're planning on doing a study abroad semester, an exchange semester under the Erasmus program or our global exchange program, this should happen after, again, you have completed your first year. And during the orientation, all the details of how to apply will be provided by our Office of International Programs. This is a great part of being a student at Koç University, the really wide range of partner universities that we have in North America, South America, Asia, Europe, of course, Africa. So anywhere you want to go, we probably have a partner university there of the highest caliber and very well ranked that offer courses in English. So this is a great opportunity to use during your 4 years. And even during your summers and winter breaks, you can think about Erasmus internship opportunities that you can do at companies in Europe. So another great thing about studying here. So we have run about 5 minutes over time, which is great considering we really love to talk about our university. Again, I want to thank all of you who joined us today. I want to congratulate you because it is not easy to be admitted to our university and even less to be awarded a scholarship. So I want to congratulate you and your families for this achievement. We really are looking forward to seeing you on campus in late September. We have a small present for all of you who decide to join us as new students. We have a very nice Koç University t-shirt and a Koç University flag to put on your room, whether you stay on dorms or not. And we just are looking forward to meeting you in person. I have also been joined today. I'm going to kindly ask for a few minutes for our colleagues Arina and Ahmed to open their cameras and say hello. Arina is responsible for all of our student recruitment activities in Azerbaijan, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, so Central Asia region. She can be also a point of contact in case you have any specific questions. And our colleague Ahmed is responsible for all of our Middle East, North Africa recruitment activities. He's also great with parents, I have to say. So if you have any specific questions, please feel free to get in touch with our team. So, and I also want to thank our Director of Office of International Programs, Burcu Hanım, who is also here. So thank you everyone for joining. If you have any questions, as we mentioned, please get in touch via email. I would say you may already have some friends studying at Koç University or friends who have graduated from Koç University in previous years. They may be able to provide some advice and guidance, but always please check the website. Please check the emails that you will be receiving from us in the next month and a half, and get in touch in case you have any questions. Okay, don't rely only on the references by friends because they may be out of date in terms of what documents, when, etc. So please always go to the official and up-to-date sources of the university. Okay, with that, we'll say goodbye soon. Thank you very much for joining today.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you. And thank you so much, Mert and Begum. I know she had to leave, so thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.